So today what we're going to be talking about is the 3 secrets to algorithmic trading. In other words, how to make money trading without making expensive and emotional mistakes. And also in some cases, very large amounts of money. Before we kind of jump into it though, do you guys want to save some money? Who here wants to save some money? Well, if you stick around until the end, you're going to get a coupon code that you'll be able to save some money on our plans, right? So if you guys are interested, make sure you stick around to the end. You'll get a coupon code and we'll be able to save you some more cash, right? Okay, here's our agenda for today. So first things first, I am going to share the slides with you guys. So here I'm going to put this into the Zoom chat. So if you guys want, you can follow along. You can click on that link and follow along with what we're doing here. There's a couple graphs and things like that in here that you might want to review or whatnot. Second of all, we're going to get to know who's on the call. You guys are the stars of the show. So I definitely want to get to know you guys so I can tailor this a bit towards you. We could talk about the things that you guys care about more so. Then I'll tell you also a little bit about myself. Then we're going to jump into the 3 secrets of algo trading. These are things that can really help you get moving and really give you a nice leg up. This is going to include showing you a lot of the things that we've been working on, some of our algorithms and the results that we're getting, that sort of thing. So it's going to be included in those secrets. Then in number 7, we're going to talk about case studies. We're going to show you some case studies. And then number 8 and 9, we're going to talk about our all access plan. If you guys want to join on board, we have a lot of really great stuff available to you. I think you're going to find it to be something that's extremely valuable, especially after you see the results that we're getting and things like that. And then I have at the end questions, but please feel free to ask questions throughout. I'm going to be checking the chat. I have it on my other monitor here. If you guys even want, feel free to turn on the microphone. This is meant to be an interactive presentation, so please don't hesitate. Don't wait until the end to ask any questions. If you have a question, just raise your hand or put it into the chat or turn on your microphone, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Right? Okay, perfect. Also, before we get started, quick disclaimer, we're going to be talking about investment returns and some of this stuff is heavily regulated, so we need to talk about this stuff. A lot of things we're going to talk about today, it's going to be paper trading results or backtesting results. If it's live money, I'm going to tell you that's the case. We're not investment advisors. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your investment strategies, but we do provide a code for you if that's what you're looking to do, and you could use our strategies and do that kind of thing. But don't think that this is any of this is investment advice. And then further, there's a bunch of other things here on the disclaimer. Please feel free to read that and go through all that in detail. All right. Okay, cool. So let's get started here. Mahendra says he can't hear me. I feel like the rest of you guys can. Can anyone else hear me? Everyone can hear me here? I can see my microphone going. So
Yeah, Robert, can I ask you a question?
sure.
This is Alvaro. Um,
Sure.
so when somebody looks at a back test and it looks too good to be true, how how do you know for sure um the back test is accurate? If you would have traded during that same period of time, how do you know that the result would be similar?
Sure. So there's a bunch of things you could do. For the simple answer is you're never really going to know 100% for sure, but you can improve your accuracy, right? There's ways that you can make sure that this back test could be more accurate. Some things that you could do, first of all, back test over longer time periods. Sometimes people back test over a 6-month time period. They think that's enough. It is definitely not. You will definitely want to especially try to back test it over time periods that are different, maybe go through a bear market, a bull market, that type of thing. So definitely you want to back test it over different time periods, and over the longer the time period, the better. There's also a technique that you could do where it's like rolling. You could back test in different time periods and see how to do in 2020, how to do in 2023, that sort of thing. That's one way to do it, just in terms of time. Another thing that you can do is paper trade it. A lot of times you'll see a back test and it says, oh yeah, this thing is going to make you a ton of money, whatever. Then you actually try trading it and that doesn't end up happening, right? Sometimes the markets can be different from back testing results. So I definitely back test it, or even better yet, test it with some real money, even if it's a small amount, right? Those are things I would do. Another thing I would do is I'd play with the parameters. To give you a story, there was one person who came to us back in the day, as when we first started our company. he's like, oh yeah, well, I'm reading this book that says you can make a ton of money by doing this specific thing. Invest in these three ETFs in this proportion, and over, every 257 days, you switch them up, right? It's like a very specific number.
Mm.
I thought that was a little suspicious. You play with that
Right,
number. 257 works very well. You get great results. 258 does not. 259 sort of does. And you know what I mean? Like, if
right,
you can change that parameter and it's all over the place, that's going to give you an indication that that's probably not something that has a lot of signal to it. It's probably just like a random variable, right? So
right.
playing with parameters, definitely something you want to do. Paper trade and live trade it, definitely something you want to do. And then different time periods is something you definitely want to do. Those are kind of the general things. Further than that, some strategies you could also just kind of dig into them and like do your research and that sort of thing. But that's going to be on a per strategy basis, right? Those are kind of things that we do.
So when you create your library of algorithms, the one uh, that are running live on paper trading, you have tested, you have done some stress tests on those, like changing the parameters just to make sure they are not curve fitting or something.
Absolutely, yes. We do a lot of that kind of stuff. We really vet a lot of our algorithms through a lot of different details. I could even show you a couple of them today and the vetting that we've taken them through. Again, we're not investment advisors, so I don't want to give you the impression that, listen to our advice and you're going to be a gajillionaire. Um,
No, no, no.
I've made a lot of money doing this stuff, but legally I cannot be saying that sort of thing. Um, I've made personally a good amount of money doing this stuff too. But I'll show you our results when we go through it. I think that will,
Great.
when
Thank
we
you.
get to that point, we could talk about all the little details, and you can feel free to ask as much as you want to
Thank
about
you.
algorithms. Right?
Sure.
Awesome. That's a great question, by the way. Thank you for asking that. Okay, cool. That being said, let's learn a little bit about you guys. Right. So if you guys could tell me a little bit about yourselves, just type this out into the chat. If you could let me know, what is your occupation? Do you know how to code? Do you know how to program? Are you programmers or not? You don't have to be, but just curious. And then also, how much investment experience do you have? How long have you been investing for? Is this something brand new to you, or is it something that you've been doing for quite some time? Right. So let me know. Feel free to type that into the chat. While you guys are doing that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Hey, this is my background. My name is Robert. Hello. I've been programming for over 25 years. I was like one of those kids. I was like 12 years old when I learned how to code. It's dating me a bit, but I've been doing this for a very long time, between coding and running software teams and that sort of stuff. I have a master's in finance degree as well from kind of like an Ivy League type school in Canada. I've been working for 10 years in financial technology on Wall Street. So not only do I have the education in this, but I've been doing a lot of different things in this space. Some examples of companies I've been part of. One is Greystone. They, at the time, were doing, I think, around 9 billion or $8 billion in mortgages. I'm sure they're quite a bit larger now. I worked with the CEO there. He was actually the father of the person I worked directly for. We put together basically a tech team there and really grew that thing out. The software that we built basically automated how to do mortgages, and I think to date we've done maybe 50 to $100 million worth of mortgages in that application that we built out between the people that I hired and myself. That was Greystone. After that, I went to go work for a company called Voyager. I was a very early stage employee there, employee number 4. It was basically, just writing stuff on whiteboards, trying to figure out how to make this thing work. We turned this thing into basically something similar to Coinbase, right? So if you guys trade crypto, Coinbase, Binance, that sort of thing, we built an app like that. It was called Voyager. That company very rapidly grew. We went from being basically 4 people in a room trying to figure this out, all the way to being worth $3 billion on the stock exchange. That was pretty incredible. And my stock options did very well with that. So I was quite happy. I got to know the people who created Uber. They were like our investors. So that's some really cool people. Currently, I'm the CEO of Lumi Wealth. We've been around for 5 years. Our mission is basically to use software and the latest technology to improve people's investment returns. We've been doing a pretty damn good job of that so far, I'd say. We're also in the process of starting a hedge fund, and actually, I just got off a call. We might be part of a private equity fund pretty soon if you guys are interested in something like that. Right now, I'm managing a couple $1 million worth of investments between myself, family, friends, that sort of thing. But I wasn't always like this, you know, we all start from humble beginnings. Years ago in 2008, I blew up my entire investment portfolio. It was like 30 grand at the time. That sucked. I didn't know how the heck to manage money back then, but it taught me a lot of great things. I'll tell you the story in a little bit. But basically, yeah, I didn't know how to manage money well. I was relying on others for investment advice instead of trying to check things myself. And that didn't really end up very well. So I'll tell you that story in a little bit, but things ended up actually turning into a very positive thing after that. All right, cool. So let me read off what you guys wrote here. So we have a few people. We have Mahendra who says, hey, Mahendra, job in US Postal Service, don't know programming, and have more than 10 years of trading and investment experience. Awesome. Hi, Mahendra. It's great to see you again. For those of you that don't know him, he's been part of our classes for some time now. Actually, was back in the day. I feel like our business has significantly grown since you've been around, Mahendra. So I think you're gonna find our new stuff very, very interesting. Alvaro, index analyst, that's very cool. Awesome. You're definitely in the right spot. Intermediate Python and Chat GPT, very cool. 1 or 2 years theoretical knowledge. That is awesome. It sounds like you are definitely in the right spot, Alvaro. I feel like you can build some really cool things with getting to know with what we're doing and take what we have and probably take it to even another level. That's awesome. Garley says entrepreneur, finance, IT, software, very cool. Somewhat can do some coding. I have been investing for the last 7 years. I'm interested in the pre-IPO. Awesome. Pre-IPO, do you mean pre-IPO of Lumi Wealth? We're planning to IPO at some point in the future. We can talk about that if you're interested, or maybe you're just interested in strategies that do IPO or the private equity fund. Okay, awesome. Send me a message afterwards. We're still in very early stages of this, but if you're interested in a private equity fund, let me know because we're putting together a fund where Lumi Wealth is going to be a part of it. If you invest in a private equity fund, you'd own part of our company, but then you'd also own some real estate and insurance companies as well. So that's kind of the thing that we're building. And it would also include a lot of our algorithms that's running a lot of that, the cash that's going through it. So yeah, so if you're interested, Garley, send me a message. We're in the very early stages. We don't have any pitch decks or anything yet. It's still kind of an idea, but we have a very strong team. And what I mean very strong, I'm serious about that. Let me know. Send me a message, rob@lumiwealth.com if you're interested in this, and we can kind of get that kicked off. Sure. That's awesome. Cool, great. It's very nice to meet all of you guys. It seems like we have a pretty diverse set of backgrounds here. I think the most common thread between all of you is that you have some pretty good investment knowledge. I think you're going to really like some of the stuff that I'll show you today. Okay, so let's jump into the secrets. All right. So you guys want to hear these secrets? I have some stuff prepared for you here. Okay. So let's start off with secret number one. Secret number one is backtesting, right? So you guys may have heard of backtesting, but you know, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've kind of gone down that path or not, but it really is a very, very important thing to be doing whenever you're running your investment strategies. So let me express that through a little story here. Okay. So here's my story. I told you, you know, in 2008, I blew up an investment account. You know, you learn your lessons the hard way sometimes, right? But basically, this is what happened to me, right? It was 2008, quite a while ago. What was that? That's almost 20 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. Time flies. But yeah, so almost 20 years ago, I basically lost my life savings. I had like $30,000 to my name. It took a while to save that up. It really sucked losing all that money. I actually built it up. I started off with a lot less, built that portfolio up quite a bit, and then came crashing down in the 2008 financial crisis. So obviously that felt terrible. It took a long time to save that up. But it really gave me the fire I needed to learn this stuff, right? Because I feel like a lot of people, when they get into the investment world, if you've never lost any kind of meaningful amount of money, you don't really appreciate risk management as much as you probably should. So in some ways, I thought it was actually a very good thing that early in my investment career, it was 2008 happened, and it really gave me a nice kick in the butt. But basically, what I did after that is I applied to a Master of Finance program at a school called Schulich, which is a Canadian Ivy League sort of thing. And I was really determined to learn. And when I went there, what I learned just blew my mind. It was crazy. It was super smart people I was dealing with. Not only was the professors very smart, but my classmates were very smart. A lot of them are now like running private equity funds and investment banks and things like that. So really, really smart group of people. But basically, the professors that I went through there, they taught me this different way of investing that was really calculated, using a lot of math, historical data, using a lot of risk management. So I really learned a lot from them, right? And beyond just the schoolwork, this is something I was super passionate about. So I was spending hours every night outside of school working on my own investment thesis, working on my own investment strategy. Like, how can I prevent this 2008 thing from ever happening again? And how do I make sure that I can make a lot of money and grow that over time? So I spent lots of time building out huge Excel spreadsheets that basically would have historical data in them. This is what happened to SPY over time. This is what happened to different ETFs. This is how companies happen. I just put these giant Excel spreadsheets. I was trying to figure out, if I put in my money here, how could I have avoided 2008 but still made a ton of cash, right? So it's basically doing what is today known as back testing, but back then it's just something I was just trying to figure out on my own, right? You put in $10,000, how much are you going to end up with? If you had done this or if you had done that, right? Now in Excel, you can only do pretty basic things, but it's still extremely valuable, right? So basically, after going through all this Excel spreadsheet stuff and back testing manually through Excel, it became super obvious to me why I lost money in 2008. I was over leveraged. I was way too concentrated in one bet, and it wasn't the right thing to do. And if I had done things differently, I could have very easily survived 2008 and made a ton of money afterwards. So what I did was I got that game plan together and applied it to my investments going forward. But also around that point in time, and this is a bit of a sad time in my life, very sad time in my life. As my father passed away around this time period, around 2009, 2010 is when he passed away. And basically, I was put in charge of my family's money. Right. So back then, I think it was something like $200,000 that I was put in charge of. Right. This is my family's life savings at the time, what my dad saved for his entire life until he passed away. And my family said, here, take this money. You tell us what to do with it. You have a master's in finance. You figure it out. So a lot of responsibility, but basically took that money. Today, I think we're worth that amount of money is worth, I think, a little over 2 million bucks now. So it's grown quite a bit, that nice little chunk of change over the years. And I could really say that a lot of that stuff came from, and the success of this came from my early back testing, right? It paid off huge because I learned a lot about how the markets work, how to manage risk. And when you back test, you're not just learning when the markets happen, right? Because when you go through the markets, it's going to take years for you to actually figure out what are bad pitfalls, what are things you should and shouldn't be doing. When you back test, you can compress decades of knowledge into a very short time frame, right? So that's what really felt like it happened with me. So again, my family's portfolio grew quite a bit. My mom has now made enough money. She really doesn't care about cash anymore at all. She has a very nice house. She travels the world. I actually drove her yesterday to Poland. She basically just spends her entire summers there. She's buying a house for her sister. Like, I mean, like really just there's no need for cash anymore in her life, to be honest with you. But not only that, I've grown my wife's portfolio quite a bit. I've grown my portfolio a lot over the years as well. I could show you some examples of that. And personally, I own a company that we're going to be valued at around $4 million right now. So we're all sitting pretty. We're all doing quite well, right? And I could attribute all of this success back to this time at Schulich when I was learning how to do back testing in Excel manually. And really, that's where a lot of the success came from. So if you guys are not doing back testing, I'd strongly recommend you guys do it. I love that question at the beginning, Alvaro, how you're even trying to learn about how to even get it to be more accurate, because that's the details of it too. It's a very, very good thing to be doing and a very good skill to learn, right? And on that same vein, here's also a book that I'd recommend. that kind of drives this point home. It's a book about a man called Jim Simons, who passed away recently. He passed away, I think, 2 months ago. But before he died, he was on the Forbes list, I think number 40 on the Forbes list. So one of the richest people on earth. I think he was worth something like 40 or $50 billion. So extremely successful. And he's a person that basically started one of the world's first quantitative hedge funds. So he was a math professor that taught people mathematics, right? And he was thinking, well, I'm not making enough money as a math professor. Why don't I get into investment world, right? But he had a different take on it, right? He was like, why instead of doing investing the people the way that they were doing it back then, it was like the 80s, right? 80s or 90s. They're just manually picking things. Well, I could use my mathematical knowledge to improve on this, right? So he basically built these giant computer models, and he basically created that first quantitative hedge fund, right? They used computers back then. This was like before even Windows, I think, existed. Using it to analyze stock data and come up with, what it should be buying and selling, and automatically placing those trades, right? He said before he passed away that his hedge fund never once did a person actually go in and push a button to buy a stock. It was all completely automated, right? If you read up on him, he is, I think, I'm not entirely sure if this is exactly the case, but I think he might be the most successful hedge fund in all of history. Um, don't quote me on that. There might be one or two hedge funds that did better than him. But as far as I know, he is the most successful hedge fund manager ever that has ever existed, period. He has a track record. I believe he said it was a 66% per year on average for over 30 years. If you do the math behind that, it is mind blowing how rich you can get doing that. If you can build 66% a year every single year and do that for 30 years, you could literally start with 10K and end up being a multi-millionaire, like several times over. Right, just do the math if you know how to do it in your calculators. If you don't know it, you can probably Google it and you can find a calculator. But it's mind blowing how much money this guy's made. That's also why he was on the Forbes list, one of the richest people on earth. Right. So, anyways, this book is all about his journey on how all this stuff happened. It's a fascinating read if you want to learn about the whole world of quantitative hedge funds and how very successful people operate, that sort of thing. The people that he started his hedge fund with, they're making such incredible amounts of money. It was crazy. I remember one story in particular. There was a guy that bought like a mansion somewhere that he wasn't supposed to. He built it on like some government land, and he got a notification from the government saying, "You have a house here. You have to bulldoze it. You can't have your house here." And he literally forgot that he had a $10 million house out in the middle of nowhere. He forgot about it. He's like, "Oh, really? Well, what the hell? Okay." That's the level of wealth that these guys are making. It is absolutely mind blowing. And that's basically what we're trying to replicate, right? So check out the book. Here's the link. I'm going to put it into the chat. If you've never heard of Jim Simons, if you've never read this book, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic read. All right. Okay, cool. So that's secret number one, back testing. This is how we really get past a lot of these people. This is how we can have a huge leg up over a lot of other investors. 99% of investors are not doing this. And if you're one of the 1% that is, you will have a huge advantage over them. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so that's secret number one. Secret number two. Now, if you're going to be building out these statistical models and algorithms and things like that, you don't need to start from scratch, right? Use existing code and collaborate with others, right? A lot of people come to me and say, I'm working on an algorithm, whatever. We've built that. It's another algorithm, we've built that. Like I think we've built well over 200 algorithms to date. If I'm willing to bet something that you're working on is probably something we've built before. I have code available for you. You could use it, and I could give you a lot of heads up on it just because we've been doing this for long enough and we've built a lot of stuff, right? So make sure you use existing code and collaborate with others. So here's a little story. This is kind of how Lumi Wealth works. We're very collaborative. This is the superpower that we have, right? So here's one story. Here's a person that joined our stuff a little while ago. His name is Worth. And basically, when he joined a couple months ago. When he joined, he shared with us a couple strategies, right? He traded a couple strategies manually, and they're making him good money. And he said to us, he's like, well, can you automate this strategy that I'm doing, right? So we're like, okay, sure, we can do that. This strategy is basically something that trades an asset called UVXY. If you look at it, you might be wondering, why the heck would you want to trade this? It goes straight down, right? In fact, this thing went from being worth, what is that, $88 billion down to $23 now. Just basically shoots straight down, right? So you may think, why would you want to invest in that? Well, what we do with this algorithm and what we built out is a mechanism to short it, meaning we make money when it goes down, right? There's only certain brokers that can trade this. Interactive Brokers is one of them, right? And basically, this strategy that trades UVXY actually had some really amazing results. When he first brought it up, I was skeptical. We back tested it. We saw the results. I was like, holy crap, this thing makes a lot of money. So something very, very interesting. Right, so we built this thing out during our live algo building sessions. This is something that we host every Tuesday. If you're part of our pro plan or our all access plan, you have access to this. It's every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right? We open it up. Last week, we opened it up to everybody. Every once a month, we allow people to come in for free to see kind of what we're up to, kind of get a feel for it. You don't get access to the code from that, but you do get access to see kind of what's happening behind the scenes. And during one of these classes on Tuesday is when we built this algorithm, right? What we do is basically every Tuesday, people come to us and say, oh, I want to build this algorithm or I want to build this thing. And we build it out and we see kind of what the results are, right? So Worth started running this algorithm and it's been getting great results so far. He's been making good money so far, which makes sense. It's the strategy that he was doing. We just automated it, right? So now it's easier for him to do this, right? But what's more important is not the fact that we were able to automate a strategy. What's more important is the fact that now this strategy that we made for him is available to everybody, right? We're kind of like a family. We're all working on teamwork, right? People come in and say, oh, I have this one strategy. Another person comes in with another strategy. And now we actually have this really large library of strategies that have incredible results they didn't come from me. I'm not the one that's coming up with all these crazy ideas. It's people constantly bringing new ideas in and we're sharing and collaborating. And that's really what is the power of Lumi Wealth and what we do here, right? Is we have all these different ideas coming together and building out these amazing strategies, right? Cool. So we have a lot of strategies for everyone in the group, and we've tested a lot of these things. I could show you a bunch of our running and paper trading, back tests that we have a lot of these things going for you. So you kind of know what you're getting into, right? Cool. So let me show you a couple of them, right? So here is one of the strategies. This is that strategy that Worth talked about. The blue line is the strategy itself. The yellow line is the benchmark, or in other words, the S&P 500. We pretty much everything compared to S&P 500, right? Because that's one of the best investment vehicles. Most financial advisors will tell you, get into the stock market, get into S&P 500. So our job is to beat that. How do we do better than that, right? So here is this one strategy. You can see the blue line absolutely demolishes the yellow line. You can see S&P 500 is down here, barely moved up. It looks almost flat compared to the strategy that we made for Worth that was up over 700% over this time period from 2021 to the end of 2023. So that's what, 21, 22, 23, 3 years, 708% returns. Holy crap, that's amazing. Or in other words, it comes out to like 72% a year, right? So we compare that to the stock market, which did about 5% a year. This 72% a year, way, way better than what the stock market could do. The max drawdown is a little bit higher. It definitely comes with a little bit of additional risk. But considering how much it beats the market by, it is something that me personally, I'd be very happy to tolerate. So huge, huge results for Worth's algorithm. Right? Here's another one that we made. Here's our Congress trading algorithm. So if you guys ever heard the kind of running joke of like Nancy Pelosi, how is she making so much money? AOC, like all these people, these politicians, they seem to be incredible stock pickers. Why? Well, they have insider information. And not only do they have insider information, but they can also drive companies. So let's say if I was a politician and you knew that I just bought shares of Microsoft. Well, first of all, I probably know something that you don't know, right? Because I'm probably getting lobbied by Microsoft and I probably know these guys personally, what they're building and all that kind of stuff. So I probably have information that you have no idea about. Second of all, I'm the one passing the laws. So if I'm an owner of Microsoft, you better believe I'm going to be betting on things or voting on bills that are going to make Microsoft better off, right? So with that theory, we built out the Congress trading bot. And what it does is basically looks at members of Congress and follows those members of Congress and says, what are they all investing in? You can actually go to websites. There's congresstrading.com and stuff like that, like Congress Trading. Here's Congress Trading, right? capitaltrades.com. For example, here we could go through and we could actually see every single trade that people bought. So Scott Peters, for example, here, he just bought some City of Los Angeles treasuries. He's doing kind of boring stuff here. This person here, Debbie, just bought a bunch of Apple, right? These guys bought Apple, a lot of Apple buying lately. I wonder why, right? Maybe there's something on the horizon here, right? This one, Michael bought Workday Inc. He also bought One Main Holdings. He also bought Apple. A lot of people buying Apple lately. Makes you wonder, what do they know that we don't know, right? So anyways, what this algorithm does is basically goes through all of these trades automatically, will count them and say the companies that are getting the most people buying these stocks, we're going to invest in them, right? That's basically what this algorithm does. It's very specifically, we're going over 48 days. We back tested and tried a bunch of different time periods. 48 days made the most sense. And if you have at least 4 Congress members buying it, we will buy that stock and add it to our portfolio. That's what this strategy here does. And when we back tested it, you can see also very, very good results here, right? In the blue, this is our strategy. In the yellow is the S&P 500. And you can see here, not only did it smoke the S&P 500, did a heck of a lot better. The yellow line barely moved. This is a bear market, right? Didn't move that much. Whereas the blue line just absolutely took off, right? Just killed it. Up 90% over this time period is about a 2-year time period. This is about as far back as our data could go at the time. I could probably update this graph to show latest results too. But basically, we're able to go back quite a decent amount of time, and we would have doubled our money if we had put into this strategy over this time period, right? About 90% return. Or in other words, it comes out to about 21% a year versus S&P 500, which is only doing about 3% a year at that time. So a huge difference. You can see that clearly in the graph. But what's even more interesting about this is not just the fact that it had much higher returns, it's also the fact that its drawdown was a lot lower, meaning the biggest risk, the biggest drop that it had was a lot lower. This, you can see a stock market dropped quite a bit here, and it lasted a long time. It lasted 600 days, so almost 2 years was this bear market before it came back, whereas this only dropped 23% and recovered quite quickly, right? And then another thing you might want to notice about this is the fact that even when the stock market was going down, this strategy was going up. So clearly, Congress members have an insight that others do not, right? So that is one of our strategies. And again, if you join our program, you get to have access to all these strategies. These are all part of our library. You can get the code to any one of these things, run these yourself, put your own money into it, or whatever you want to do. You can have access to all that, right? Okay, so that's our Congress trading bot. There's another one. This is one that we've been working on for a while now. And this is actually not even the best configuration of it. We call this our Iron Condor Martingale strategy. And basically with this, it's an options trading strategy that sells options. So it's income producing, right? Okay. That's why we have these graphs are fairly stable looking, right? This one's a little bit more rocky. I'll show you ones that are like way more impressive than this because we've refined this thing over the past few weeks and months. This one here does about 62% a year if you had invested in this. Quite a nice return, 62% a year. Nothing to laugh at. The max drawdown was a little higher than S&P 500. You could tell that here. There's some pretty big drops, but did 62% a year, so did quite well. Smoked S&P 500, right? Again, here's the SPY, right? That's what it did. Our strategy just monster took off and beat it by a large margin, right? But we took this strategy and we kept refining it, right? And we actually now have a bunch of different configurations they could use. So it kind of depends on what you want to use. Do you want to be doing something very risky? Do you want to be doing something very conservative? We've tested a lot of different things. So here's another configuration of this same strategy. This one makes 68% a year. or historically has made 68% a year. And you can see a much smoother ride. Quite stable looking graph. It did have some drawdowns, but those drawdowns are very fast and they didn't happen too often, right? So here's another version of that strategy. We also came up with another version of it yesterday during class. Let me bring this up here. This is that same strategy with some modifications, where basically we're looking at the value of the VIX and we're determining should we be investing today or not. And if the VIX is too high, we stay away from it. If the VIX is low enough, then we actually put our money in. And that got us this crazy freaking return of 144% a year. Holy crap. Not only that, though, not only is it 144% a year, but the drawdown is only 12%. So meaning this thing is super safe, or has been historically super safe, but still makes 150% a year. Holy crap. Okay. This is a strategy I just started running today. We don't have paper trading results for that yet, but I can show you a couple of these that are running. Here's with live money. Here's one that I put real money into this not too long ago. I started this off. If you go up to the top, you could, if you guys join our program, you could actually see this. You could go through all of it. We started at about $6,100, almost $6,200 that I put in real money. This is not paper trading. This is real money. Okay. I put in that cash on June 3rd. So it's been 23 days and we're up already 20%. Or in other words, I made almost $1,300 in my live account over the past 23 days. Okay. That is one of these strategies that of how it's been performing, right? If you look through it, a few, we were running a few other ones. You can see some pretty crazy results. These are still newer, but they're also seeing some very nice beginnings to them. These are ones I started running earlier this week. These are with paper trading, but all of these strategies, these modifications of this are doing very, very well over these time periods, right? So that's our Iron Condor Martingale strategy. It's one that I'm personally very excited about. This new one that we built out, this 144%, I'm planning on putting a bunch of money into this probably by the end of the week, assuming that our paper trading is working properly. If you guys want to follow me, you could actually watch me when I put in, I'm probably going to put in maybe $10,000 or $15,000 into this, and you can actually watch my account grow over time. All right. Cool. That's what you get being part of our program. You get access to this code. If you want to use this code, you will have access to this code. You could run this strategy yourself. You can watch me do it if you feel more comfortable going through that. But this is something that is available to you when you join our program, right? Okay, so that's our Iron Condor Martingale. Here's another one. Here's our butterfly condor strategy. This one, when we first built it out, we got 135% a year with a max drawdown of about 37%, right? You can see here again, huge. Like it makes the S&P 500 look like it's nothing. Like literally, it's hard to see it. Like you have to squint just to see the line for the S&P 500 because that's how monster this thing is. But we even worked on another strategy that one of the people that works with us, he's been running this. He's been getting some very good results with it. Where is this here? This is our strategy library, by the way. If you want to go through here, this is all the different strategies that we have. You could take any one of these and actually run them. These are available to you. It's very easy to run it. So let's say this butterfly condor strategy here. You go into it. If I scroll to the bottom, I could actually see the backtesting results. Notice here, this one has a 458% a year back tested result, right? With a drawdown of only about 33% over this time period. So pretty crazy results. When I was running in back testing, in paper trading, I'm getting mixed results, but I know some of our other people are running this on interactive brokers and it's making them quite a bit of money so far, right? So, or at least in paper trading. But this is a pretty new one, 458% a year, pretty crazy. But so far seems to be panning out. Right. Now, if you want to take the strategy, you want to join our program, you can actually go into here. We have a bunch of stuff in here describing what the strategy does and all that. But to run it, it's super simple. You simply click on this button here, run on Replit, right? It will load up in Replit. This is super fast to do this. Once it's loaded up, all I have to do is I go into here into secrets. Once it's finished loading, right? I'll go into here into secrets, and I basically put in my API keys, right? So I'll go Tradier is one broker that we use. Here's Tradier access token. I'll go over to Tradier, my broker, and I'll get my access token from them, right? It's on the settings page, pretty easy to find. You take that, type it in, whatever it is, add your secret, and then you get your account number from them as well. We add that in, type in whatever that account number is, and then hit run, and there we go. Now you have a working strategy. That's how easy this is, right? And that's the types of results that we're getting here, right? So you can see here, we're getting these crazy backtested results. We're seeing it in paper trading. We're seeing it in live money. And if you want to use this stuff, you could literally just push a button, fill in 2 fields, and have it running for you. That's it, right? We make it that simple. Yeah. Cool. All right. So let me stop
Well,
this.
if we want to run it on interactive brokers, the integration is
Yep.
as simple as this one as well?
With interactive brokers, it's a little bit more involved, but we're actually working on making that very simple too. If you were to join, you want some help with that, I'll jump on a call and I'll set it up for you on a call. All right. Yeah. Whenever you join, we give you a lot of customer service. We give you a lot of help with this stuff. You're not left on your own. So if you want to go through this, you want to do this with interactive brokers, we could definitely do that for you. Just let me know. We'll get on a call and I'll set it all up for you. All right. We're working on making it because interactive brokers, the reason why I say that it doesn't work on this specific platform, Replit. We would have to use something else like Heroku or AWS, and we're making it really simple to deploy to. Right. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. We could jump on a call. We could set all that up for you. It'll be very easy to do as well. All right. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Cool. All right, here's some more stuff. Here's some more results. Our crypto B-band strategy doing quite well. This thing we started on October 30th. It's up 44%. Let's see how it's doing today. Up 43% since October 30th, doing quite well. Here's another one of our strategies. This is our Condor Martingale. This is like super risk-taking version of it. This thing went up, I think, 120% before it blew up. But it did extremely well. It was up like literally 120% in 2 months. It was crazy. This thing was making so much money. It is the riskier version of it. So if you're a gambling type person and you want to try to double your money in a month, this will probably do that. But would be, you'd have to be very careful with that because at some point it eventually does kind of collapse if things go against you. So this is that super risky thing, but here, this is what it looks like. It's crashed now, but before it crashed, it was up 116% over a 60-day period or 60-something day period. It was wild. This was making crazy amounts of money. So if you're up for gambling, this is definitely one that that can make you a lot of money very quickly. That's actually what I have this in right now. And you can see, again, my account's up 20% in 20 days, like a percent a day. That's not include, that's not trading days. That's like calendar days, percent a day. It's nuts. And it compounds over time too. Let me see here. Gnarly asked a question. So API key and account setup. What are the fees for interactive brokers or trading view so you can help us set up my account? So interactive brokers, if you're using, they have a fee for data. I think you have to pay $15 a month with them. If you're an American citizen, I would not recommend using interactive brokers. I'd recommend using Tradier. That's what I use and what a bunch of our other clients use. It's easier to set up. And they have an account. You pay $10 a month and there's no trading fees. So it's actually amazing. Tradier is awesome, easy to set up. Trade what? Trade here. It's Tradier. This is it right here. Tradier.com. And this is the broker. It is an API broker. So it's made specifically for people that do algo trading. Right. That's why we use these guys. They have an incredible plan, $10 a month, commission-free options trading. This thing is awesome. Yeah, it's made specifically for algo traders. Right. And if you're interested, they're like FINRA certified. They like have all their stuff too. So if you're concerned about, you don't know these guys, they're, we have a good amount of money with them. I have, I think, $40,000-$50,000 with them. A bunch of our clients have a bunch of money with them too. And that's growing very quickly. I'm actually planning on giving them a lot more money because our strategies are kicking ass on Tradier. So cool. And then another question asks, do I get access to this slide, Robert, because I intend to sign up? Yeah, so I shared the slides earlier. Let me do that again here. Here's the link to all the slides that I'm going through. Right. And then if you want to sign up, you can also go to our website and you could book a demo. So you could actually talk to one of our salespeople if you want to actually go through anything in detail. All right. So just so you know, you have that option. Okay, cool. All right, so that's that. Here's another one. Here's live money. This is the longest one I've had running. I think I've been running this for a year and a half or 2 years now. This one's made me quite a bit of money. Here's snapshots of the account. I could actually log into it. This is with a broker called Alpaca. This is another fantastic broker, also made specifically for algo trading, right? So you may have not heard of them. It's probably because you're not doing a lot of algo trading, but these guys are awesome. Let me log into my account here. I can show you how it's been doing because it is up a lot. Where is rob.rezik@gmail.com? There we go. And then when I log in, here's my account over the past year. You see an account started at the year at 3,400 bucks. We're now at 4,600 bucks, so it's up over $1,000. Was at 30 something percent as of today over the past year, which if you look at the stock market is a hell of a lot better than what the stock market's doing. At this time when I took the snapshots, it was actually up even more. It was up like 50% in the year, right? This is our diversified leverage strategy, and you can actually look at it. We've been running it in paper trading for a little while here too. It's up quite a bit. It's up, well, we went through a little bit of a dip, but it's up quite a bit. If we ran this over a longer time period, it does really freaking well. And I could tell you because we back tested it and I've been running it with live money for a while, and this thing does very, very well. So it's one of the first strategies we ever made, and it's a very nice one. It's not this crazy thing that makes you 150% a year, but I think this one makes when we back tested like 22, 23% a year, which is double the stock market, so I'd say that's still pretty damn good. But yeah, so anyways, all of these strategies, we've been running them for a while. You can get access to them. You get the code. You can run all the stuff. It's very easy to get them up and running. And if you need any help, we're more than happy to help you with that. All right. Cool. So that's secret number two. Use existing code and collaborate with people, right? This is the power of it, right? We are collaborating. We're constantly coming up with new algorithms, new strategies, new ideas. This is the power that is Lumi Wealth, and this is why we're coming up with all these strategies. I have met a lot of people in my lifetime that build trading algorithms. I'm part of this whole investment thing. I travel a lot. I go to, these different investment conferences around the world, especially in America. Or mostly in America, I should say. But going to these investment conferences, I've met a lot of people that build trading algorithms, and we smoke all of them. There are some people that have built trading algorithms, but they're very good at making one. We've built dozens of them. We literally have, if you join us, over 100 different algorithms they could choose from. Literally 100 different algorithms. Some of them are obviously better than others, but we literally have that many they could choose from, and there's a lot of value you can get from that. Right. Cool. Okay. All right. So secret number two. Secret number three, use AI tools. Right. If you guys aren't using AI, I'd strongly recommend it. This is more geared towards people that plan to do any kind of coding. You do not have to be a coder to join us. We originally, when we started our company, we're an education company. We're teaching people how to build trading algorithms. More recently, we really just license our algorithms out and we build them for you, right? Because we've realized a lot of people don't want to code. But if you do want to code, here's some ideas for you to help you be a better algorithm coder. Okay. And AI tools are super helpful. Yeah. So let me start off with a story. This is a person who joined us a little while ago, Latoya. She is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of hers, and I'll show you a little video with her in a bit. But she joined Lumi Wealth a few months ago. I'd say a little over a year ago now, right? When she joined, had zero programming experience. She was a pharmacist, right? Like she had no idea how to code, right? Very far from her profession, right? When she joined, we taught her how to use ChatGPT. We taught her how to use GitHub Copilot and a few other little tidbits on how to code using AI. And basically, after going through our classes, she was building these crazy complicated bots. Honestly, when I got on a call with her, I was shocked. I was like, how the hell did you build this thing? She's like, yeah, I just use ChatGPT all day long. She barely knows how to code. She just uses AI to code for her. It's incredible, right? And it's only getting smarter and smarter, right? So her bot, last I checked, basically what it was doing is it would go into Discord. And there's a bunch of like different trading people in Discord. Some of them suck, some of them are very good. There's one that we're working with that, and there's another algorithm that we're probably going to start selling soon independently, though. This guy on a very regular basis has like 100% a day, 150% in a day, has just really crazy trading results. He's doing very, very well for himself. So when we basically are coming out with a bot that copies him, right? That takes a look at what his trades are and just copies his trades, right? So she basically built a bot like that, right? But went around the internet and or went around Discord and looked at a bunch of these different people. And when she built that bot, first of all, it was really impressive to build that for someone who has no idea how to code. But second of all, when she built this bot, not only was she able to copy these people, right, and make money doing that, but she also was able to figure out who's BSing and who's not, right? Who actually is a good trader and you should be copying them versus who's a bad trader and they're just, blowing smoke up your butt, right? You could very easily tell that when you run an algorithm and you just track them over time, right? And that's exactly what she was doing. So last I checked, her algorithm's been running for her. It's been making her good money. She's been with us for quite some time. If you go on her Discord channel, you can talk to her. She's in our meetings quite regularly. Very, very smart person. I'm a huge fan of her, like I said. But yeah, a lot of this stuff she can contribute to learning this AI that we went through in our courses. But also when she went through this, not only was she able to build these really cool bots and making money using this stuff, but also she was able to get a new job, right? So she got a pay raise because she was able to put on a resume that she knows how to code and she went through our program. So she was able to get this brand new job. I don't know exactly how big a pay raise it was, but I could tell you she went from being a pharmacist to working in an office space. So an easier job and I think quite a substantial pay raise. So not only did she get these algorithms, but now she's also making more money to put into the algorithms. It's amazing, right? Um, yeah, it's a new higher paying job. Um, Also, actually, as a side note, something that we're working on with Lumi Wealth, if you're someone that's interested in building bots, we're actually starting to work on the ability that if you build a bot, you could actually sell it to our audience and people can buy your bot. We're doing this with one of our customers right now. It's a pilot project. We're going to be selling his bot independently. If you guys want to buy this thing, it makes a crap load of money. It's that following that trader I was telling you about, does really, really well. If you guys want to buy it, you can buy it. But if you guys build a bot, you could also sell it to our community as well. And we're also looking, like I said, we're building out a private equity firm. We're looking to start a hedge fund where we could actually put our own money into these bots as well. So if you guys are bot developers, definitely come on board. You can make a heck of a lot more money with your bot than just managing your own money. We'll help you monetize it in many other ways as well. All right. Cool. Because again, we're collaborating and this is what we do. Right. Cool. Okay. So some tips if you're going to be AI programming, right? If you're going to be trying to write software code using AI, here's a couple tips. Uh, First of all, start by using existing code. ChatGPT is still too dumb to do this stuff from scratch. But if you give it existing code, say, here's an example of a bot. Can you modify it and make it do X, Y, and Z? It's going to be a heck of a lot better at that than building something from scratch, right? So if you're going to use ChatGPT, give it existing code. Don't tell it to do something from scratch. You're going to get much better results, right? Second of all, if you don't understand what the code does, you can basically go to ChatGPT, give it some code and say, explain this to me, right? It could explain it to you in text. You could even speak to you and tell you what it is. Or you could even say, add code comments to this bot, right? Which code comment is, if you're looking at code, here's some code, you're looking at it, all the stuff in green is not code. It's stuff that is explaining, okay, this is the time to sleep, this is the initial variables, the other colors are actual code, right? So if you give it to ChatGPT and you say, give it code comments, you can actually read the code like it's a book, right? Like it's a lot easier to follow. You don't have to understand coding. You can actually just read it in plain English, right? So it makes your life a lot easier. So if you don't understand what code does, give it a ChatGPT, ask it to explain it to you, tell it to put code comments in. That'll make your life a lot easier, right? Third of all, if you haven't done this already, I highly recommend this. I actually had an employee once recently that was writing software code for us, and I discovered he wasn't using Copilot. I gave him a ton of shit for it and then fired him afterwards because he didn't use this. It is that important. Okay. For me, using GitHub Copilot, I would refuse to code without it. Straight up. I can literally do the job of 5 me's using GitHub Copilot. If you join us on Tuesday classes, or if you join us and actually watch me coding, because that's what happens on Tuesday, I code, you tell me what to do, and I code. You'll notice I don't really code that much anymore. I basically talk to ChatGPT or through GitHub Copilot, because it's the same technology basically. And it's writing all this code for me. I'll type and I'll say, okay, do this, and then all the code just gets written. And then I'll like modify it, and then it modifies the code. It's like I'm really not coding anymore, right? Um, I can literally do the job of 5 or 10 people now because I'm using GitHub Copilot. So if you guys are coders, or if you are aspiring to be coders, do not code without using ChatGPT and without Copilot, specifically Copilot, but ChatGPT as well. It is going to give you such a huge leg up that it's like a majorly unfair advantage, right? So I very strongly suggest that you guys check this out, right? Check out GitHub Copilot. You can install into VS Code. It's one of those things that almost comes by default now, right? Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, if you ever get errors in your code, and that happens all the time, let's say you learned how to code, and back in the day, if you put a comma in the wrong space or something like that, you're just going to sit there and bang your head against the wall for like an hour trying to figure it out. These days, if you have an error, copy, paste it, put into ChatGPT, it will tell you exactly how to fix it. You can even give it your code, and it will actually modify the code and give you new code that you can actually run, right? So if you do get errors, give it to ChatGPT. It will help you fix that error and make your life a heck of a lot easier, right? Okay, and then number 5, check out our course recordings because we talk about AI very, very often. So if you join our courses, you go through this, you'll actually see me doing a lot of AI stuff. I explain a lot of specific tips on how to do this stuff. So if you're interested in that, check out our courses. We talk about AI at length going through stuff. We're obsessed with AI. So that's kind of our spiel there. All right, cool. So that's our 3 secrets. I've been talking for a lot now. Do you guys want to hear some case studies? Do you want to hear from some people that have taken our courses over the years and kind of gone through this? I don't have any case studies yet of people using our algorithms, which I think we're going to go out and get some case studies for that too. I could tell you one of our students recently, I was talking to him yesterday. He put in $25,000 into that martingale strategy, I think 25 or 26K. He made $6,000 in less than a month. How's that for some nice stuff? But we don't have any case studies around that kind of stuff yet. We will soon. We will go about and do that. But here's some case studies of people over the years taking our courses and have experienced kind of what it is to be part of the Lumi Wealth community, right? If you guys want to watch more of them, we have tons of them. It's here, lumiwealth.com/testimonials. You can actually go through here and watch a bunch of them. Right, here's, all these different people that have taken our courses, been part of our classes. You can watch any of these videos and kind of get a feel for, what it's like to be part of our community, right? Yeah. But let me play 2 of them for you. Yeah. I'm only going to play the first 2 minutes to be respectful of your time. But if you want, you have the link to this presentation. You can finish watching if you want to, right? It's also on that testimonials page. But here's one person, okay? And I want to give you 2 examples. One person who was a coder, another person who was not. Here's a person who came to us who was a computer programmer. He knew what he was doing with computers, but he didn't know how to do any of the investment type stuff. So he joined. We basically taught him how do you apply your programming skills to the world of finance, and he got some crazy results. Last time I spoke to him, he got a bot that was making like 400% a year. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think that's with paper trading. I'm pretty sure that's with real money that he was making that. So he's doing quite well with his stuff. I think he made like a breakout bot or something like that. But let me play his video and you can listen to a little bit about what he has to say, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose Lumi Wealth.
So I am a computer science graduate and I am a software developer currently. I develop automations for my current company that I'm working for. And also I develop full stack applications, web apps and APIs, as well as for my company. What attracted me about Lumi Wealth was I loved some of their resources available on YouTube, which told me right from the beginning, like what to expect from the classes. And also, I was extremely interested to learn finance and algorithmic trading. I've been trading from a Wall Street veteran like you, Robert. I mean, you have extensive experience in leading teams into this in this particular branch of finance, and I was completely. I mean, I really wanted to be a part of that as well. I really love that there, during the classes, we'll be going to, perform like 2 live projects, which would give us like real hands-on experience, what we would expect in the real financial world. Uh, I mean, weekly 1-hour interactions with you and with the fellow students, I mean, that is always an added advantage that we have. Unlimited discussions and help that I got during my time, especially in the Discord channel that we had, was tremendously valuable to me. And also the opportunity to book, one-on-one time with you if I get stuck. I mean, that is something that is even more valuable, and that tremendously, attracted me to Looneyville. And you don't get that in other courses or any other. I mean, even if you selected a video course, you wouldn't get all these benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely people love this, the live nature of things. Thank you for
Exactly.
that. I feel like you answered a bunch of the other questions we have, which is great. It's great.
Okay, so let me stop it there. If you want to keep watching this, feel free to watch it. There's, I think it's like a 16-minute long video. So if you want to learn a little bit more about kind of his experience, you check it out there. Keep in mind, we recorded this almost 2 years ago now, I think. Our courses have changed a lot since then, and there's a lot of stuff that he actually wasn't a part of. He's still very much a part of our community. If you want to talk to him, you go into our Discord, you could actually speak to him. But since he recorded this thing, we've actually added a lot of new features, our trading signals. You could actually get our strategy library and just use our strategies directly. We have, made it a lot easier to run our strategies. So there's a lot of stuff that we've added ever since he joined, and it's become a lot easier to do these things as well. All right, so you don't even have to learn how to do this yourself. You could just get it from us, right? Okay, here's another one. Here's that person I told you about earlier, Latoya. She joined us. She never knew how to code when she started. Her signal trading bot is something that was making her quite a bit of money last time I checked. And she got, again, a new job after joining our program, right? So definitely got a lot of great benefits from it. So here is Latoya. Let me show you the first 2 minutes of this as well.
Hi, my name is Latoya. I took Looney Wealth's live algorithmic trading course, the pre-recorded options trading course, and I'm signed up to take the machine learning and data science course later this month. I'm a pharmacist by training. I have no previous background or experience in coding. As far as finance goes, I was primarily a long-term buy and hold investor until about a year before taking the course, when I began to learn more about options and day trading. I was by no means profitable consistently in my day trades. I found that with my full-time job, there was limited time for me to get enough chart time to get better at trading, since my work hours typically overlapped with market hours for options trading. I started to see advertisements for Looney Wealth, and it was really attractive due to the ability to build algorithms to trade without constant input from me, and to be able to take some of the emotions out of trading, which was really tanking a lot of my trades. I loved the class. I was intimidated by the fact that I did not have any coding experience and was wondering whether or not I would really be able to go from zero knowledge to creating a bot within that 12-week time frame of the course. But Looney Wealth guarantees that you will be able to create a bot, or not only do they refund you, but they pay you something like $600. So I was pretty confident about that. I joined some of the free webinars before I signed up for the courses. And I also joined their free Discord community before signing up and booked a call with them to discuss the courses. So I was really impressed by the knowledge base of the instructors during the free webinars and how responsive everyone was when I asked questions during the call, and in the Discord community, they answer questions very quickly in the Discord channels. The courses also have lifetime access. So when there are updates to the course material or when there are updates to Loonibot.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to stop it there. It's around the 2-minute mark. Again, she recorded this maybe about a year ago. We've added a lot to our program since then. We've actually made it a lot cheaper and a lot easier to join because we now have a monthly subscription option. When she joined, it was a heck of a lot more expensive. And quite frankly, we have a lot more features now than we used to. So you definitely get a lot more value even since she joined. But if you want to get to know her, she is part of our Discord community. You can actually have a conversation with her as well if you're curious. And if you want to watch the rest of the video, you can do that too. Right. But to give you kind of an example here, we talked about this a little bit. Who is this for? Right. This is for people who have never coded in their lives. If you've never coded before and you have no interest in coding, this is for you. We can just give you our code. You could just use it, run it, and that's it, right? You don't have to do anything to do with coding. Or if you are a professional programmer and you want to learn how to take your skills and apply them to the world of algo trading, we can help you with that too. We've trained a lot of people to build this kind of stuff, and we're actually building an army of people that can build trading algorithms because we want to build this marketplace where people could buy and sell algorithms. So that's something we're working on here. So if you are not a programmer or if you are a programmer, we can help you in both of those aspects, right? This is also for people, there's some people that are part of a list that have a lot of money, right? Like I've seen their accounts like millions plus, right? We do have a bunch of customers like that, but we also have a bunch of customers that are just getting started, right? People, some people started with $100 account, $200 account. I've seen that a bunch of times as well. So whether you're someone who has this very large amounts of cash and you want to figure out what to do with it, figure out some new ways to make money with it, we can help you with that, right? Or if you're someone who just got started with investing, right, and you want to kind of learn the ropes and start off on the right path, we can help you with that as well, right? So whether you're a coder or not, and whether you're a millionaire or just getting started, we can help you in both situations, right? Or all four, I should say. Okay. So do you want to know a little bit more about our programs then? We've kind of talked about, what we have here. I've alluded to the fact that we have some programs. Would you like to get to know a little bit more about our all access plan and what we have available? Yes. Okay. So here are all the things inside of our all access plan. We have a bunch of different courses that you get. We have our algo trading course, our AI course, our options course, and our crypto trading course. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. You also get to join our live algo building sessions, which is every Tuesday. This is where we innovate all these new algorithms. They're freaking awesome. All these algorithms I showed you, the UVXY, that's making 70% a year. The Condor Martingale, 144% a year. The Butterfly Condor, 400% a year. All those things, all those back tests and all these algorithms, they come from this class. This is that Tuesday class that we do. We're innovating like crazy. We're actually starting to think about maybe doing it now twice a week because we're getting so much value out of it. This is like the thing that produces so much value. So you get that. I'll explain that a little bit more in a bit. You also get our algorithm library, which is this thing I showed you. You can go through and basically go through our different algorithms. Which one do you like? I like this one. Click on this. What does the back test look like? Oh, I like that back test. That's good. What about, what does it do? And then if you like it, you could run it, modify it. It's very easy to do, very simple, all in this little spot right here. This is called our algorithm library. You also get our trading signals, which is right here. You can follow our algorithms. You could see how they're doing, right? Here's a new one we started. Here's that one I told you has been up quite a bit. You could follow our algorithms. You can actually get trading notifications. Every time it trades, you could literally just do it manually and follow it if you want to do that. Or you can just see how they're doing. If you like it, you can click on this button right here. Click here to run this strategy. It'll take you directly to our strategy library. And then there's a button here where you can start it up. So it's super easy. You can go through our trading signals. I like this algorithm, click it and get started that way very easily. All right. That's our trading signals. And then you also get custom installation service. Sorry, yes?
Have you averaged all of your trading signals on a daily basis to see if the net value of them is positive on a daily basis? Or I'm thinking in a way that if you have, let's say, 2,000 different stocks, and then if you can scan the market with I would say machine learning for each of them. And then out of the 2,000, 51% you are right and then 49% you are wrong. So you have a small positive outcome on a daily basis. Then you could generate like a strategy that never loses. I mean, it makes very little, but creates a very high turnover. And basically every day you make a little bit of money. And if you are running 200 strategies, and all of them have a logic that would put you above 50%. If you average them all on a weekly or daily basis, if you can find a period where you consistently get an average positive return, have you tested that?
Yeah, so that's a fantastic thing to bring up. So I guess you bring up a couple things. Stock screener strategy. We have a couple of those in our library in our Google Drive. If you want code for that, we have code that has done that type of thing. So if you're interested in a stock screener strategy, we could definitely give you the code for that. We have a bunch of them like that. There's a few different like it depends what you're screening for, and like there's a lot of details to it. So that's first of all. Second of all, when we go through our trading signals, what we do with our trading signals is we kind of just put up a bunch of our algorithms and we see what they do. Some of them will work out really well, some of them won't. So we kind of have this thing where we back test, we put it through paper trading, we see how that's doing, and then those that are doing well, we put into live money. This is the way that we look at algorithms, right? Is we have this 3-step process, right? Back testing and all the stuff I told you about, all the back testing and making sure it's good. Paper trading it, make sure it does well there, and then it graduated to real money. This is the way that we've been doing this whole pipeline, right? And you can watch our pipeline like that through trading signals. So some of them are going to be doing really well, some of them are not. And then the ones that are not, we get rid of them, we fix them, we tweak them, or we just say that's not a good idea. And then the ones that are doing well, we'll keep around and we can watch those things grow, right? So that's kind of what our trading signals are. But to take it further, and I think kind of what you're getting at, and this is basically how these big hedge funds work. I actually got to know someone who used to run 2 Sigma. He was one of the early people in 2 Sigma, which is one of the biggest hedge funds on earth. I think they manage, I want to say like $80 billion or something crazy like that. But I got to know that guy, and they do this algorithmic trading type stuff, right? Like they build a lot of crazy trading algorithms, make a lot of money doing this stuff. And what they do is they run like 50 algorithms at a time or 100 algorithms at a time. And then they'll have something at the top, like a supervisor that says, okay, put more money into this algorithm, or take more money out of this algorithm, or get rid of this one and add this new one in. And that's the way that they basically run their fund, right? Is they're running, like you said, 20, 30, 50, 100 different algorithms. If they're all making 50% or more, 100% or more, you end up having this really high average. Then you also diversify so you don't have all your money in one specific strategy. That's the way that 2 Sigma works. It's my understanding that Renaissance works the same way, Jim Simon's company. And that's what we're working on doing. We're actually working on building that sort of hedge fund that does exactly that, right? I was telling you earlier, we're starting this private equity company. We would be taking clients' money and we wouldn't put into just one single algorithm, right? We'd put into several to diversify it, right? So that's basically what we plan on doing and what we're building towards. And if that's something that you want to do, that's definitely something that's available to you. You could take a bunch of our algorithms, run them all separately, and start doing that sort of thing. But that's kind of, I think, the panacea, right? To have one algorithm that makes you 140% a year is awesome. To have 20 like that, that's the best. You know what I mean? Because now you're
And
diverse.
also you increase the capacity, because if somebody wants to invest more money, you have 80 algorithms. So this is hypothetical. Let's say I want to run, incubate on paper trading 80 algorithms on Replit.
Yep.
I want to let them run for a month, and then at the end of the month, I pick 30 of them, the top 30 or top 20. How expensive is that on paper trading? Because I talked to Tommy. He reached out to me a couple of days ago. He mentioned that there was a fee per algorithm. So if I run 100 of them, um, I don't want to be paying like $1,000 for incubation to incubate them. So is there a way to avoid that fee? Because it works for one, or if you want to run five. But if you want to do what you are doing, like running the incubation so you can select your own, um, can that be done?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that I do it is I just run it through Replit. I kind of keep it simple. But we started working on a more scalable way of doing this. That uses something called Kubernetes and can run a bunch of these things. We're going to be building out that kind of technology to make that really easy in the future, right? But to kind of put it simply, Replit, if you're going to be using Replit, is $6 per algorithm per month, right? So you have an idea of cost there if you want to go that way. However, if you're going to be running 100 of them at a time, if that's the scale that you want to get to, I would approach it quite differently. What I would do is I would run it on like a large server, something on like AWS or something like that, and run all of these algorithms on that one server, right? Because in Replit, um, you're paying $6 a month for a machine, right? But that machine can be much more efficient if it's running, because you could run easily, like at my computer, I could run 50 at a time easily, if not more, right? I could just run those off my computer, right? In the cloud, you could get even faster computers and run even more at a time, right? Because none of our algorithms, or most of our algorithms, are pretty lightweight, right? And in Replit, you're paying mostly for it to like install the operating system, to install Python, to do all that basic stuff. So you're paying $6 a month for each one like that, which you don't have to. What you could do is get a much larger box, maybe pay 50 or $100 a month for it, and run all of them on that one box, right? If that's something you're interested in doing, if you join our all access plan, we can get on some calls. I can help you with that. That definitely requires a little bit more technical work because that is quite large scale. But we've actually have a lot of technology that does that sort of thing, or is striving towards that. So if you're interested in that, let me know and we can actually work towards that with you. Right?
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You have some great questions. I could tell you know your stuff when it comes to this. Cool. Okay. All right. So that's where you're gonna get in our all access plan. Here, so to put it a different way, where you're gonna get an all access plan, it's gonna save you time and money. This is what it took for me to create this stuff, right? It took me over 4.5 years, almost 5 years now, and over $100,000 building out our technology called LumiBot. This thing is now one of the best back testing and trading Python libraries in the world. We have almost 1,000 GitHub stars now. We're growing very quickly. This is spent spent a lot of time building this thing out. We spent over 1,000 hours creating our core class, Algo Trading, Algorithmic Trading. That's our core class to teach people how to do this stuff. We're actually working on a brand new revamp of it too, right? So we spent a lot of time doing this stuff. We spent over 1,000 hours and $200,000 creating the rest of our classes, things like our options trading class, our AI trading class, our crypto trading class, all that stuff. We spent a lot of time and money building it out. I spent over 5,000 hours, and honestly, I think it's probably a lot more than 5,000 hours creating and testing all the algorithms we have. Like I said, we have over 100 algorithms they could choose from. We have a strategy library. It makes it very easy to run them. We've spent lots and lots of time building these things out. If you want to do this on your own, you would spend a crazy amount of time doing it. Seriously, I've seen people try to do it. They leave and they come back to us and say, yeah, just help me with this. We also spent over $300,000 building our community. We spent a lot of time advertising it, building it up. We have a fantastic community of algo traders and developers. So if you want to learn anything about our field, this is, we're really kind of at the top echelon of what's happening in algo trading, right? So question here, Garley, it's replit.com. This is it right here. This is what we use to run our algorithms, right? Like when you click on that button in our trading strategies, that's what it takes you to run on Replit. The reason why we use Replit is just because it's like really easy to get started with this stuff. You can actually go into here. You could look at strategy, for example, here. This is one that I started today. You could see all the code here. There's a nice run button. It just makes it simple for you, right? Like you don't need to be a coder to do this, right? If you are a coder, maybe you're more comfortable with AWS or something like that. But this is just, you could honestly, like, for me, I could be half asleep and give me 2 minutes and I'll start a new algorithm. You know what I mean? It's just that easy to use. That's why we use it, right? But that being said, you could use other providers too if you prefer that, right? Okay, cool. Also, at this point, you might have some thoughts, you might have some beliefs. Let me just kind of address those. First of all, you might have the belief that this is going to be very hard and it's going to take up a lot of your time. The truth is we've perfected this program over 4 years, almost 5 years now. I'm going to change it to. We've made this very easy to get started. Like I showed you, it's literally a button. You fill in 2 fields and that's it. It's so easy to do this. Honestly, you don't need to code. You don't need to do any of this stuff. If you think this is hard, it is definitely not. We have made this very easy for you, and we have a lot of support to help you with it. All right. Second thing you might be thinking there's another scam and we want to steal your money. You should be, honestly, there's so many scammers out there. I don't blame you for thinking that, right? The truth is we don't handle your money. I don't take your money. I don't want it. You give it to the broker. I give you the code. You run it yourself. Okay. I'm not touching your money. I'm not running anything against your stuff. For legal reasons, we don't do that, but also just, kind of makes things a lot simpler. We give you the code. You put your money at your broker and that's it. Right. So we don't touch your money. Like there's no way that we could possibly scam you because we don't even have your cash. Right. There are a lot of these crazy scams out there. Please be careful because I've seen my brother-in-law got involved in this, my mother got involved in this. These scammers are everywhere, so please be careful. But I could just tell you, we don't touch your money. We give you the code. You could do whatever the heck you want to do with it from there, right? Okay. Another belief you might have is that you're not computer savvy. You won't be able to do this. The truth is we've taught literally thousands of people to do this, even people that are retired. I think we've taught someone that was like 70, 80 years old before it was the oldest we've taught. People that are retired that don't know how to use computers. If we can get them to run an algorithm, believe me, we can get you to run an algorithm. Just the fact that you're on Zoom alone proves to me that you're computer savvy enough to do this stuff. And even without that, like we can actually just get our support staff on the line to just help you with it. All right, so you do not need to be computer savvy whatsoever. We have a lot of resources for you, and we made it very, very simple, right? Another belief you might have is you might say the opposite, right? You might say you're an amazing coder and this is too easy for you, right? You're like, oh yeah, this is just simple stuff, right? The truth is that we're one of the most advanced programs on earth when it comes to algo trading. Search us on the internet. We're like way up there across the board, right? We teach you everything from very simple techniques on how to just run stuff all the way to very complicated AI-based trading systems that are doing some really, really complicated stuff. We have a whole gamut of all these different things. So if you are a coder and you want to learn from us, we have a lot of resources for you and we can really take you to the next level. Right? Another belief you might have is that this will be expensive. This isn't cheap. I'll tell you that much. We provide a lot of value. But the truth is that it's way more expensive to screw up your investments, right? Put it this way, I took over my family's portfolio at $200,000. Okay. They were in treasury bills at the time. If they had left it at that, it'd be worth maybe $250,000 today. Instead, I took that money, and this was before we were good at all these trading algorithms, went from 200,000 almost 2 million. Okay. That is a $1.8 million difference. Okay. How much would you pay to have bigger returns than that? Right. Just think about that for a second. Right. So everything is relative, right? Things are going to be cheap, but you get a lot of value out of it. Right. Okay. And next belief is I'm learning, I'm new to investing and I'm just trying to develop my trading strategy first. I've heard this a bunch of times from people. Hey, I'm just new. I want to kind of get to know things, whatever. The truth is that if you learn things from approaching it from a data and a software perspective, it's going to speed up your learning a lot and you're going to learn right the first time around instead of going through YouTube videos and learning from people that, quite frankly, have no idea what the hell they're doing. Trying trading based on some nonsense. We can show you from data. We can show you from all the things that we've done over the years and we can get you started on the right foot. All right. Cool. Garley says, what's the difference between your program, Prosper Trading, and Trading Academy? I don't know either one of those. I've heard of Prosper Trading in passing. I don't know exactly what they do. My guess is that Prosper Trading Academy. Yeah, I don't know who these guys are. I'm willing to bet that they probably don't have a lot of good algorithms. They're probably not doing that well with their algorithms. They can probably teach you some basic stuff and show you how to code things. But I can guarantee you almost that our algorithms will smoke them, because we're actually going very much from, and I've been kind of alluding to this the whole way through. We started off as a school teaching people how to do this. We are now moving more towards becoming a hedge fund and actually managing people's money. We actually build stuff that makes money. I'm not here to teach you some BS, basic stuff. I'm here to show you how to actually make money. You know what I mean? That's what we're all about here. And if these guys are here, and I've heard the name before, sure, maybe they could teach you how to code and all that kind of stuff.
No,
Let's
they are just it's not algorithmic trading. The Prosper Trading Academy, I bought one of their programs maybe 2 years ago. This is just regular teaching, education, and signals, but it's not algo trading.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so there's your answer. Yeah, sorry, I don't know who the heck Prosper Trading was. I've heard basically of them, but yeah, we're definitely much more focused on algo trading. I have a strong belief that humans should not be touching money, right? Or at least in the next couple of years, definitely not. AI is going to be so much more advanced than any human being can possibly do with this stuff. If you are someone who's still manually trading, I mean, good luck. Like I just don't think you're gonna have a chance competing. I know some people that are like one of these guys that we copy trade, he's very, very good. That is like 1 in a million. You know what I mean? It's very hard to find people that are that good at trading. Whereas if you find algo traders, you'll find a lot more people making money doing that than people trading manually. So that's my little 2 cents on that. Okay, cool. Let me know if that satisfied your question, Carly. Cool, awesome. Okay, do you guys want to see the details of the all access plan? We can kind of dive into it and show you kind of everything that you get. Okay, so again, this is a recap of all you get. You get a bunch of courses, our live algo building sessions, algo library, trading signals, and custom installation, right? Okay, so yeah, so I'll get to pricing structure in a little bit. All right, I'll show you guys. You can go to our website. You can go to lumiwealth.com and you can look at it now. Right? We have different tiers. I'm talking about our top tier program right now. This is everything that you have other options too. If it's out of your price range, we do have a mid-tier program and a low-tier program. I can kind of talk about that in a second. But let me first explain to you kind of everything that you get. This is our like all access plan. This is like full everything what you'll get, right? And then if if prices don't make sense for you, you could look at one of our other programs as well. But this is everything that you're going to get, right? So first of all, you're going to get our algorithmic trading course. This is a 12-week-long class that teaches you how to build your own trading algorithms, just like these hedge funds are doing. Learn how to backtest, learn how to run locally, learn how to run in the cloud, all that kind of stuff. You learn how to backtest your algorithms and run them live. You'll learn how to create your own algorithms from scratch and how to modify your own algorithms. And then you also get over 50 algorithms within this class that we've developed as Lumi Wealth and as our students as well. We normally sell this class for about $3,000, so $2,995. If you want to buy this class directly, you can go to this link and you can buy the class directly. However, I think you're going to get a much better deal if you get it through one of our programs because we bundle all this stuff together and you get a much better price, right? But if you want to buy it independently, you can get this thing for $3,000 on its own. Okay. Next class is our Artificial Intelligence for Trading course. This is an 8-week-long class that teaches you how to make custom AI models for using your trading. This is taught by a very smart person. This is a guy, Greg Tanaka, who graduated from Caltech, from Berkeley, and then also is at Stanford right now. He got funded by Andreessen Horowitz and a couple other really big VCs. If you know the names, you'll know how big these guys are. It's crazy to get funding from them. I think he raised like $10 million to basically build out a company in San Francisco that basically does artificial intelligence trading. Right. So this is like what he does. He's very, very good at this stuff. And he taught this class on artificial intelligence for trading. He's He's literally a genius, seriously. What you get from this course is you'll learn the fundamentals of machine learning and artificial intelligence. He'll teach you all that stuff works, especially in the context of trading. Show you how to use machine learning and ML models to analyze stocks and more being, crypto and things like that. He'll show you how to create and use your own large language models, kind of like ChatGPT for financial applications as well, right? This class we normally sell for $2,995. If you want to buy it by itself, you can do that. Click on this link here, or you can get it as part of our program together, right? You also get our options trading course, which is an 8-week long course on how to create trading algorithms that trade options. Options, some of our algorithms that trade options, holy crap, they make a lot of money. This is some of our most interesting stuff here. It's a more advanced class. Usually you'll take the Algo Trading class and then take this one afterwards. But what this class will do is it'll teach you the fundamentals of options trading, but from a data perspective, right? How do you actually use data to analyze these strategies that you have? We'll show you how to backtest and trade option strategies. And we'll give you 10 different strategies in this class that trade options are made by Lumi Wealth and some of our students as well. We normally sell this class for about $3,000, or again, you can get it as part of our bundle, right? All right, then you're also going to get our crypto algorithms course, which basically teaches you how to build trading algorithms for crypto. It's an 8-week class that teaches you how to create trading algorithms that trade crypto coins. What you'll get from this is you'll learn how to apply algo trading to cryptocurrencies. You also get 15 different crypto-specific algorithms from this course as well, right? This is normally $3,000 we sell it for, or you could get it as part of our program in total, right? Okay, so far I showed you 4 different courses. They're all about $3,000 a pop. So far, if you add up all that value, that's about $11,980 worth of value so far that you'd get within the all access plan. So if you bought these things independently, you'd pay almost $12,000, or you could get part of our package and you get it for cheaper, right? Okay. You're also going to get more. You're also going to get our live algo building sessions. This is like everyone's favorite thing, right? Like when we started doing this is like when things started to really take off for our company, because we've been building some incredible stuff in this class. I'm thinking we want to start doing this twice a week soon. Maybe we'll start doing this every day at some point when we get big enough. But this is the class that produces all the magic, right? Basically what it is, it's a weekly class. It's live, okay? If you can't show up Tuesday nights, you can watch the recordings, but you probably want to show up live, right? Because when you come in, you can basically be part of creating new algorithms, right? So right now, this is mostly me doing this. We're going to have some more people helping out soon. But basically, people come in and say, oh, I have an idea to build an algorithm. I want to build one that does this. Like one example was a guy comes in and he says, I want to build an algorithm that captures dividends, right? So basically, find all the companies on the S&P 500 or all the companies across America. And whenever they're about to have a dividend, buy that company, wait till you get the dividend, and then sell it, right? One idea. That's something we could build in class, right? Another idea was that UVXY trading bot. That thing ended up being some crazy bot that was making like 70-80% a year. Another one was this iron condor trading bot, which is now we have these back tests 140% a year, right? All these strategies, they came from this class. This thing is freaking amazing. Honestly, I can't say enough good things about it, because this is like, not only is it something that our students really love and our clients really love, but it's something that I personally just love doing. This on Tuesdays, I have so much fun doing this, because we always come up with some really cool stuff that's like just blows my mind. But yeah, so what you get out of it is you could ask the instructor, which is currently me, to build an algorithm for you. So if you have an idea, we could build that in class. Okay, you're not coding, I'm coding. Okay, so you don't have to know anything about coding, right? We just build it for you. Or if you are a coder, you can watch how to do the stuff. You can learn a lot through example, right? Next thing is you can watch other algorithms get created live, right? So this is a huge opportunity to learn other top strategies, right? So think about this as like a cheat code where you can like learn about all these different ideas that people have out there. You could join Prosper Academy and they could teach you one way of doing things, right? Or you could join us and we'll show you a new thing every single week, You know what I mean? Think about it that way. Yeah. Another thing you get is we have 40 plus algorithms. I think we're a lot more than 40 now. I think there's maybe 60 or 70 different algorithms that we have in this class now. We have quite a few of them. This thing is just generating a crazy amount of new strategies every single week. So yeah, so if you want to get a bunch of different algorithms, they're all available in this class too, right? So usual price for this, you know, I personally think, you know, if we sold this independently, we would sell this for like thousands of dollars a month, and I think a lot of people still buy it. But you know, if you think about it, how much should we charge something like this for? Well, I charge 200 bucks an hour. I'm probably going to be raising my rate soon, but anyone who's like half competent in algo trading will charge at least $200 an hour to do this stuff. We spend about 4 hours every week to do this, and there's 4 weeks per month, right? So if you had to hire someone to do this for you, you'd have to pay about $3,200 a month just to hire that person to do this, right? However, this doesn't take into account that you're getting all these ideas from different people and that you get access to our whole library from it, that there's all this code available to you. But if you had to just hire someone to do it, you'd have to pay at least 3,200 bucks a month to do that, right? Okay, but you get included as part of the package, right? So you don't have to do that. Okay? Right, another thing you get is trading signals, right? So basically you can follow all of our top algorithms. You get all the trading notifications. You can see how they're doing minute by minute. You can see which ones are doing well, which ones are not. You know, you're saying, Alvaro, that you want to run 100 of them. I mean, you don't even really have to do it. You could just watch ours too, right? Like you don't even have to run 100 of your own. You could also just watch how ours are doing and just pick the best ones that we have, right? Because you can look through our trading signals. But that's really what it gives you. It gives you the ability to follow our trading algorithms, and it gives you the ability to see all the trades that they're doing and be up to date with all that. Yeah. Usually, if you go with a service like this, they'll charge you maybe 500 bucks a month. I've seen some services that charge even 10,000 bucks up front. You know, like these types of trade signals services cost a lot of money, but you get it part of the program, so you get it included as part of the pro plan or part of the all access plan, right? Okay, here's more examples. You can see on your phone, you can see on your computer. It's basically in Discord, right? Okay, so far we've talked about all these different courses, 4 different courses. We've talked about our live algo building sessions, which is 3,200 bucks a month. We've talked about our trading signals, which would be $499 a month. So if you had to buy the stuff separately, you'd be paying about $12,000 plus about $3,700 a month to get this level of value so far. Yeah, but we still have more, right? We also have our algorithm library. This thing is where all the freaking genius is. This is basically where we keep all of our top algorithms. This is right in here, right? You go into here, where'd that go? Right? You can see a list of all of our different algorithms. You can click into them. You can see the back tests. You can see what they do, and there's a button to automatically run it. This is crazy. Honestly, if you had to build this from scratch, it would be a crazy amount of work to do this. If we ever had to sell this to a hedge fund, I'm sure they'd give us an insane amount of money for this, just because there's a lot of value in there. There's a lot of strategies that really make a ton of money. But basically, it's, you know, again, it's our top algorithms organized and kept up to date on GitHub, and it's very easy to run them. You can do the run on replit button. It's super easy to do, right? What you get out of it is you get 15 strategies. There's actually 20 strategies now and growing quickly. We're adding more and more to them. We actually have a lot more strategies all over the place. We kind of just have to add them to library to make them like easier to manage and all that. The best strategy we have in there is 458% a year back tested results. We have a wide variety of different algorithms. We have crypto algorithms, we have stock algorithms, we have options algorithms, we have day trading algorithms, and we have long-term algorithms. We have ones that use AI, we have ones that use third-party data sources, we have ones that trade based off of price action using things like tactical analysis and a lot more, right? We have lots and lots of variety in there and lots of very powerful algorithms that make a crap ton of money. The usual price, if you want to build something like this, think about it, it probably would be at least 1,000 hours to build out these algorithms, if not a lot more than that. If you're hiring a developer, it'd be 200 bucks an hour. That's half competent to do this stuff. To be honest with you, I think it would cost you a hell of a lot more than $200,000 to build this, because this is assuming you know what to build, right? If you don't know what to build, it'll be, I think you'd spend more than $1 million to replicate what we have in our trading, just in our algorithm library, right? So there's a heck of a lot of value in this thing, right? This is probably what like a lot of people when they sign up, this is kind of like the main thing they care about, you know, this in our Tuesday class. Right. And then also, if you join our all access plan, you also get custom installation service. We'll also spend a lot of time with you one-on-one. So if you need help building your algorithms, if you need help, you know, like you said, putting up on interactive brokers, you need help with any of that stuff, we could do all of that as part of our all access plan. And you get access to myself and our staff to basically help you out with whatever the heck you need help with, right? We'll spend a lot of time doing this for you, setting things up for you, helping you write the code, doing custom work for you, whatever you need, that's part of our all access plan, right? So basically you get a setup of your algorithms, you get regular monitoring, you get 24/7 customer service. We can help you develop some stuff, a bunch of other things too, right? Usually you'd pay $1,000 for this, probably a lot more than that actually, if you count the amount of hours that we put in. But that's going to be included as part of this as well, right? So here's a breakdown of our whole all access plan, right? We have these 4 courses that are $3,000 a pop. We have the custom installation, which is at least $1,000, probably more. We have our algorithm library, which is at least $200,000 of value, if not more than that. We have our live algo building sessions, which if you want to hire someone else, would be at least $3,200 a month to do that. And we have our trading signals. If you got this from someone else, same level of quality, at least $500 a month, if not more. So far, total value they're getting is $211,000, 900 or $211,980 worth of value, and you'd have to pay $3,700 a month for that as well, right? So if you want to do this on your own, that's probably how much money you'd have to pay for this, right? At least, to be quite honest with you, I actually think these are undervalued. I think some of these, like this algorithm library, really, if you want to build it, you'd probably pay like $1 million to build it. These live algo building sessions is $3,200 a month, but realistically, even if you hired a developer, you're not going to get all the ideas that we have and have the same sort of community. So we say this is a value of $200,000 plus $3,700 a month. I actually think it's a heck of a lot more than that, right? Okay, but you're not going to pay that much, right? So I'm not going to ask you right now to pay $200,000, not even close. I'll tell you the price in a second, but it's definitely nowhere near $200,000. Okay. All right, but before I do that, before I tell you about our pricing structure and all that kind of stuff, do you guys want your coupon code? I promised you, you stick around, you get a coupon code. Would you like to have that? Okay, cool. So here's the coupon code. This will be available until tomorrow. So if you use this code RFRWMA, and I'm going to put that into the chat. If you use this by tomorrow, and I'm going to have my team turn this off at 10 p.m. tomorrow, as 10 p.m. Eastern time, that's where I am right now. We're going to have them turn this off tomorrow. If you use this code by then, you get 20% off anything on our website. Okay. That goes for all access plan, also goes for any of our other plans as well. Right? But it's only valid for 24 hours. Okay. So question is, how much does it cost? I'm sure you want to know that. So this is our all access plan. This is our full featured plan. This gives you access to all of our algorithms. This gives you access to all of our courses. This gives you access to a ton of customer service, to our trading signals, to lots of support, everything. You're going to pay $7.99 per month, and there's a $1,500 sign-up fee for it. Yeah. Plus, you get an extra 20% off, so you can actually save quite a bit of money if you think about it. That 20% off will save you a lot off of this fee, right? If you want to sign up, you can go to this right here, lumiwealth.com/all-access-plan. Right, so right there, basically, you'd go to here. We're going to be redesigning this page soon too. You basically go into here. Right, you can learn about everything that we talked about here, go to the bottom, and then there's the monthly, right? Or you could also sign up annually, which is actually a heck of a lot better deal. If you do the math, it saves you a lot of money. Instead of paying per month, you pay by the year, right? This is a 30% discount, almost a 31% discount if you do the math. $7.99 a month times 12 plus a sign-up fee. Take 31% off. It's going to be $77.60 per year. So you save a heck of a lot of money doing it by the annual plan. And on top of that, you also get 20% off, right? So knock another 20% off of this. So you're saving 30% plus another 20%, right? So you're saving quite a bit of money on this, right? If you want to do that, again, all access plan at the bottom of the page right here, right? It is a yearly subscription plan, not a life plan, Carly. It is a yearly subscription plan, right? If you want to be on board for multiple years and you want to do a life plan, let me know. We could actually even find a way of getting you a discount if you want to do a lifetime plan as well. That's not something that we normally do, but if you're interested, you could talk to our sales team and we could actually knock something off of that as well, right? That being said, also, understanding that some of you guys, you might find this a bit out of your budget. If you go to lumiwealth.com, if you scroll down, click on see my plans, we do have different tiers as well, right? What I'm describing to you is our all access plan. That's our top tier program. It gives you everything. If you subscribe to our pro plan, you'll get access to all of our strategies as well, and you're still going to get a bunch of support. You're not going to get everything if you actually want to read through this. There's a bunch more stuff in our all access where you get the courses and a bunch of other things. But if this is out of your budget, you could also sign up to our pro plan, which will give you access to all of these strategies and all that kind of stuff as well. We also have a starter plan, which is a lot cheaper. It's $50 a month after a free trial of 2 weeks. That one though is meant kind of to be an introductory thing. You can get our basic algorithms. The ones still do well. I mean, our diversified leverage algorithm, I'm still up almost 50% in the past year, still doing quite well. But it's a lot more of our basic algorithms. So you're not going to get our crazy stuff, right? So we do have 3 tiers, right? I could say probably our pro plan is the most popular, but if you want all the stuff, the all access plan is the one that has everything combined, right? So just so you know that all those options are available to you, and that coupon code that I gave you earlier is for any of those, right? So Alvaro, if you want to get, so you want to waive the sign up fee on the pro plan, if you get on a call, if you speak to, so if you speak to Tommy, maybe he can knock something off of that. I don't get involved in this stuff. Maybe he can knock a little bit off of that for you. But yeah, that's our pricing structure. So if you want to do that, you can talk to him and maybe he can get you a bit of a discount as well, right? Cool. All right. Okay, so that's our plan. So let's go over, if you had to do this on your own, right? So here's putting it a different way, right? If you had to do this on your own, you'd have to spend probably 500 hours learning how to create algorithms. You're going to spend a ton of time learning how to do this stuff. You're going to have to hire someone at $150 an hour or $200 an hour. And it's going to take about 20 hours per algorithm. So we're talking about some like $3,000 or $4,000 per algorithm to build this stuff out. So if you want to hire someone on your own, you're going to be paying thousands of dollars anyways for this. And considering that we have over 100 algorithms, we're talking about $300,000 worth of value that you're getting here if you want to do this on your own, right? And not to mention the fact that if you start doing this and you have mistakes, that could cost you literally thousands of dollars as well, right? So it's just a different way of framing it. Right. And let me read off what you have here. Garley says, do you have financing available? Yeah, the sign-up fee is really high. Yeah, Garley, if book a demo, right? Go to our website, book a demo, talk to Tommy. We might be able to figure out some financing plans or something like that for you as well, right? Talk to our salespeople and I think they can figure something out for you, right? Okay. Here's another way of looking at it, right? So think about it this way, right? If all this program did was, right? If all this did, literally all you got out of this program, all you did is you got an algorithm that makes you 70% a year consistently, and you make 70% a year for the next couple years, would it be worth it? Would the sign-up fee be worth it, right? You do the math on that, right? 70% a year, think about compounding, think about how much that could potentially grow your capital. If you were able to do that, if you got that out of this, would the sign-up fee, would all this stuff be worth it, right? Second of all, if it could teach you how to be a quantitative trader, right? If that's something that you want to do, you want to learn how to be a quant trader, you want to get really good at this stuff. Salaries start at the low end, $300,000 for that kind of a job. That's a low end quantitative finance job. If you could get a job like that coming out of this, would it be worth it? Would the sign-up fee be worth it? Right. Or another way, if this only give you access to a community and give you access to highly skilled traders that are consistently innovating new, highly profitable trading strategies, and by how highly profitable, I'm talking about triple digit a year type stuff. If you could have just an access to that type of community where you're constantly getting these new ideas and these new types of strategies that can make that kind of return, would that be worth it? Would the sign up fee be worth it? And the monthly fee, would that be worth it? Think about it. If you answered yes to any one of these, right, then you have your answer, right? Okay. And on top of that, we also do have a guarantee in case you are nervous about it. We do have a 30-day money back, fully refund guarantee. No questions asked. I don't care what the reason is. Your dog ate your homework, whatever. We'll give you your money back. No questions asked, right? This almost never happens to us. We've had some people that had financial difficulties and that sort of thing. But when people sign up to our program, they're usually very, very happy with what we get. So I'm very comfortable giving out that guarantee. So if you want that money back guarantee, 30 days, easy money back guarantee if you sign up with us, right? Okay, cool. All right, so here's the coupon code again, RFRWMA. You get 20% off as long as you sign up by tomorrow. You have 24 hours that this coupon code will work in. I'll paste this again, RFRWMA. At 10 p.m. tomorrow, this thing is going to go down, right? Okay, and the link again to the all access plan is here. If you're interested in some of our other plans, you could also go to lumiwealth.com and you can pick them all from here as well, right? Cool, so clock's ticking. Any questions, guys? You guys have been asking some good questions throughout, but any other questions you guys have for me? If you do have questions even after this, by the way, just to let you know where you can go, there is on our website in the bottom right-hand corner, you can go into intercom. You can ask questions here, right? Just click send us a message. We have staff that's constantly waiting for all this stuff. There's also book a demo. You can click on book a demo and you can get on a call with one of our staff. They'll basically walk you through a lot of these details, show you kind of how everything works, right? And have any of those discussions with you, any other questions that you have, right? You could always email me as well. My email, if you want to personally get through to me. I'm not the fastest, to be honest with you. I get a lot of stuff in my email these days. But that's my personal email there as well, rob@lumiwealth.com, if you want to send me personally a message, right? Cool. All right. So any other questions, guys? Okay, awesome. All right, well, it's been a pleasure. It's great hanging out with you guys. You have been a fantastic audience. I hope to see you guys in our classes. We do this again every Tuesday, so if you guys sign up, I will see you next Tuesday. And I hope to see you guys in our classes and hopefully running some of our stuff and doing well with your investing. Cool. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Alvaro. Thank you, Mahendra. All right. Have a good night, guys. Cheers.